What's up? It's Jose Mangan here for Dean Guitars NAMM 2016 with an idol, friend, hero in life, Dave Mustaine. What's up, brother?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Great night tonight. It's so good to be with you.
Hey, happy release week with Dystopia coming out just a few days ago. Amazing 15th studio album from Megadeth, and we had a cool listening party at Affliction Studios, and Dave was there, and the album got so many great reviews, and people are...
It has.
Did you see all the social media about the album and everything?
You know, it's crazy. You know, we just were having fun, and you know, I mean, our whole scene, thrash speed metal, is about like loving on each other and having fun and not like getting judgmental and shit. And I think that, you know, what goes around comes around. It's really cool right now for us to be the ones that are getting the attention, because there's so many great bands right now, and especially in the whole speed and thrash metal genre. And for us to be the ones that are getting the attention right now, it's just a great feeling.
Amazing playing on this album, and
Thanks.
the tour starts in a month with Suicidal Tendencies, Children of Bodom, and Havoc.
Yeah, with one of my great friends, Mike Muir, Children of Bodom with Alexi, amazing guitar player, and with Havoc. This dude came up to our party the other night at your studio, and he gets right in my face, and he goes like, hi, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, who are you? And he goes, I'm David from Havoc. And I was like, oh my God, because he was so happy and just so brilliant and just so fresh and stuff to come up and have that kind of energy and to be in front of me. I was like, either he was like on ecstasy or he was like in a metal band that was just ready to break. And I was so excited for him, and I'm so excited for our tour to be able to be around him. But the thing is, just like you see the dude, and he just has this energy that reminds me of like what our whole scene's about. Yep. It's what everything's about. It's like being happy. All of us, like, we're together. When we're together, we have such a great time. And that's the difference between metal music and pop music, because pop's kind of a boring thing. It wears off. Metal music is forever.
It's for life, man. That's why we're all here.
Way of life.
And that's why all your fans are going to be coming out to the tour and also picking up Dystopia.
Total way of...
You and Pam moving out to Tennessee about a year ago for your daughter Electra, who's a country music singer now. And really cool. I heard she covered a Megadeth song and did it all original in her own way. And there's also, in this move out to Nashville, a reality TV show that was filmed around the Mustaines going from California to Tennessee.
Okay.
But the reason being, let me set it up. The reason being because you wanted to go and help support her career.
How do I answer this?
Well, I mean,
yeah, of course, dude. You're a dad. You love your kids, man. I know you.
I would move to Tennessee.
Yeah, of course you would, man. You would move to the moon, like for your kids. I mean, anybody that really loves their kids would do that, and I think that's the difference between what's happened to so many of us in our generation and the generations between who I am and the millennials right now, is that so many parents wouldn't do the things that you or I would do for our kids.
Hey, but let's talk. We're hanging out at NAMM. You know, you just signed a big hour and a half session out there signing autographs for Dave Mustaine Megadeth fans, and there's a lot of cool guitars here. I mean, there's one that you were just excited to be holding earlier. I was here when Dave was holding. Stiff. Yeah, gave him a stiffy there. And is this one of your new ones? What is this? And tell me about.
This is a Dean Stradivari T, black with cream binding, which is the first one I've ever seen.
Why don't you hold that Holy Grail one right there?
Oh, the Holy Grail.
We were talking about this the other night, and you were.
I want to see a guitar. I want you to see something. When I went to Israel, I went into Golgotha, and I saw the rock, which was the rock that Jesus was supposedly executed on, and there's a hole in the ground where his cross went into, where you can stick your hand into the ground to feel where the cross was. And I did all that. Now, whether it's real or it's not, there was a heavy impression that was laid on me, and I thought how great it would be to make a guitar that was blood red with 24 karat gold inlaid on it. There's only 33 of these. 25 were sold so far at this NAMM Show, so that means there's only 8 left, and if you don't buy the remaining 8, you suck.
But I mean, how do you come up with this concept with the whole blood and the gold?
The thing is Jose, you know me, man. I mean, we're like totally like metal guys, right? We think metal. This to me is like metal. It's blood and gold. It's like the Holy Grail. You know, except you see the dude at the bridge where he goes like European or whatever, you know, unladen swallow, you know, that kind of stuff. But you know, that makes the Holy Grail thing a whole joke, the knights that say knee. But if you really, really think about the Holy Grail, the goblet, the blood, if you think about, you know, the quality, the scale, the dimension, the playing ability, the sound, everything that goes into this guitar, this is it, man. You know, there may be guitars that play similar to this, but there are no guitars that are equal to this.
It's a beautiful piece of instrument, Brother Dave. And this is coming out. I mean, people can get this.
There's only 8 of them left. There's only 8 of them left in the world.
Now there's none. So
I imagine by now, there's none.
So
honestly,
it's awesome, though. It's really cool.
Right?
We'll make more. We'll make more. So Dave, what about?
No, honestly, there's 33 of them. That's it. Whoever has these Holy Grails, you are like the dudes that own the 12 chairs. You are very, very blessed.
Or you're like Indiana Jones when he got
That's it.
the thing in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Dude, totally. Yeah. There are 33 of those guitars. That's it. There are no more.
Hey, Dave, what about this Zero with the Dystopia cover on it?
Oh, dude.
That's sick. A lot of fans were taking pictures all weekend here at our Dean Guitars NAMM.
Huge for Dean Guitars because they get to take this guitar and show the world with all that artwork. Now, if it was up to me, I would have this guitar in every single meet and greet package for the fans that get to do the Dystopia tour. Unfortunately, we can't fill the orders right now for some reason. There's just not enough of these guitars, which is a really good problem to have. So I look at this guitar and I look at like, okay, the fact that, look at the back of it. There's a heel. It's not a bolt-on. It's not like one of those guitars that are cheap guitar, like, you know, most Gibsons, Fenders, all those guitars where they just bolt the neck on. This is a one-piece guitar, and you've got this brilliant artwork here, and it's one of the most superior guitars. You never hear a carpenter blame his tools. You just don't.
Yeah.
You just don't. And if you really, really want to be serious and you want to be in this business, you have to play the best.
And you've been with us for a long time, Dave. Yeah.
10 years, man. It's only the beginning.
Hey, so what's next for Dave and Dean, and what's next for?
Well, we've got a couple other ideas that we've been talking about. We've been talking about introducing a new model, actually 2. And we've been discussing a couple things that we're going to do to hot rod a couple of models that we have that are part of the line right now. The Mako, we're talking about doing something that's a studio version that will completely blow people's minds. So it's something that we had an extensive talk tonight with Seymour Duncan's people on how to have Seymour Duncan come up with a really creative pickup that would cross over acoustic type guitar with an electric type guitar and make something that a really hot shot guitar player would go into the studio with, and he would be able to sit down and say, okay, I'm ready. I've got my one guitar that I can do studio acoustic performances, whether it's electric or acoustic, whether it simulates acoustic or it fucking rips in electric land. And the guys were from Seymour Duncan were just like, yeah, this is so exciting. For me, when you get to the point where you see people at that caliber of people who know their job get excited about something like that, you know you're onto something. I've really tried to push a lot of things. I mean, there's so many things I've pushed. So this whole thing now is a whole new chapter for us, and I want to see it happen. I want to see it happen not only for me, but for everybody.
Cool, man. A lot of cool stuff. I have one of your Makos. You gave it to me after you guys performed at Sirius XM a few years ago.
I love you. I want you to have one of those guitars. Because the guitar is like it plays itself. It's a brilliant sounding guitar. Beautiful. You know that.
I know. I play it all the time.
It's so easy to play.
I don't want to rub off the signature, though.
You can play Holy Wars on that. You know that.
I shredded one time. True story.
That guitar is so good. He could play Holy Wars on it.
So Dave, man, I want to thank you for hanging out with us here at our Dean Guitars D-Drum booth here at NAMM, and all the cool stuff that we did at the Affliction Studios with the listening party. It was an honor to have you there, and you and Pam and Kiko and the entire 5B crew. And then of course all week on Sirius XM Liquid Metal, we're playing your music, and I heard Poisonous Shadows on the drive over here to the Anaheim Convention Center with your intro on it, and it's really cool to hear your voice on the radio every hour. So thank you, Dave.
You have no idea how grateful we are for you. And I got to tell you, people who are unaware of who you are and your responsibility for credibility in the metal world, you're like the real Don Steele of metal right now.
Don Steele, dude, of metal. Like someone tweet that, dude.
Of like what's real. You really are the Don Cornelius of what matters right now. You are the voice of our generation. I love you, dude. You're so badass.
Dude, the feeling is mutual, as you know, and I'm a big fan and a big student of metal, and I love to push it to the world in nice, cool, positive ways. And I always love supporting you and your bands and your guitars and all the cool stuff and your family. So much love to Dave Mustaine. Thanks to Dean Guitars for having us here. And this wraps up NAMM 2016, brother. Thank you, brother Dave.
Yeah.